Okay, so far we've got a room 6x4. We've got 2.5 meter high walls. Two of the walls right now are hidden because I don't need them at the moment. So I'm going to create a few bits and pieces. Let's go to New. And let's go to Standard Millimeter IPT. And let's start work. So we're going to put a bit of skirting on this. Skirting can be just about anything. I'm going to go for about maybe 120 high. Going to go for about 20 thick. Let's go 30 thick. You can go over the top here and you can start to make this very, very fancy. Skirting needs to be there for the room to look right in most situations. To be honest, in the most modern of buildings, when I've spent a bit of time Googling, and if you're doing this, you should be doing that, Googling and looking for modern buildings and what they're looking like, assuming you're going for a modern building. A lot of them don't have skirting, but I'm going to put it in anyway. It really helps your perception of the room because you're so used to seeing it normally. Let's go for a. Let's think about this. Let's go for a fillet. Let's set this to about 10. That's going to look decent. Finish the sketch and let's extrude this out. So I'm going to need one at 6 meters and one at 4. They're going to overlap in the corners and I really don't care because this is about looking good. It's not about fitting together perfectly. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So we're going to set that to 4 meters. Okay, we're going to save this as skirt 4 meters. Save, we're going to go to save as. We're going to save this at 6 as well. Not 5, I want 6. And then we're going to change this edit feature to 6. And then just save this out. Now we're going to go, it's probably going to benefit us to change the color on these as well. We're going to sort out all the colors later on. But again, we don't want them looking the same as the walls just now because that's going to make our lives difficult. So it really doesn't matter what we use here. Brass yellow, that's fine. Let's go to the other skirt. Change this to the brass as well. I can't even remember which one I used. That'll do. So let's combine these with what we've got already. Aha, there's my assembly. So let's place these two twice. That's good. Those look awfully like they're the same size, which is bad. No, they're not. They just look that way. That's fine. So let's join these up. Let's constrain this, this, apply, and let's just check that's done it correctly, and it has. Now I might be lazy here and just use the line that onto that line, and we want it this way around. Not convinced it's done what it was supposed to. It has us up there. Let's try that again. There, to that line, apply. And then finally, let's go for here onto the bottom edge, apply. Now this is where we start to talk about how perfect you want this to make. This is not an engine, so technically, when I put this against here, and when I constrain this to here, I am committing inventor fraud because I'm not building a perfect object. The purpose of this is not to build a perfect object. The purpose of this is to look good. I'm suspicious to why those two do not line up correctly. Aha, it's because I've forgotten the fillet. Where's the fillet on you? It's the wrongeth way round. That's going to be problematic. So let's go and do a bit of fault finding here. Does that look right? Honestly, when you're fault finding, it's sometimes easier to just delete all of these. What's that one? So this piece here, let's open this. So that should be fine. This one's definitely wrong. Okay, so you're just the wrong way around. Now I don't expect it to let me join this to here, but if it did, it would make my life enormously easier. So now the other one's wrong, which would be that one. Delete. There we go. So now it's on the right face. Let's constrain this to this edge. So that's now correct. Now let's go fix the other one. Are you even vaguely the right way around? No, you're not. Okay. So we're now on this piece. So I think that one's going to be a problem. Delete these. Now let's fix this. That to there. Let's just look, has it actually put it the right way around? Does not appear to have, but I can work with it as long as it will allow me to constrain this to this. It does not appear to want to. Okay. Let's just delete a bunch of these. Do this properly. Silly stick causing me problems. So let's look. I definitely want that constrained to that. Apply. So it appears that's on the bottom, which should be fine, as long as we constrain this to this. Apply. And finally, this surface to this one. Now the point I was trying to get to earlier was This is not perfect engineering wise, but it does fit together, which is mainly what I'm concerned about. Let's just check everything lines up, which it does. Now, to make this easier, what I'm going to do is apply that. I'm now going to make the other two visible. So this one visible, however this one invisible, and this one visible, and its friend invisible. Let's go fix these. Into place the same way. And this is pretty boring stuff, but it has to be done, because once it is done, I'm not going to do it very many other times. I mean, you can use this room again and again and again. So I want that to touch the surface of the floor from here. Apply. I want, let's just check what's going on here. Yeah, that surface to touch that one. Apply. And finally, that surface to touch that one. Apply. And one monster left, so I want that on the bottom. Apply. I want this surface here. Apply. And I want this edge on here. Apply. Flip this all around. Make our other base walls visible. That one visible, and that one visible. And really this one, holding control, right click and go to visibility. This one and this one, right click and take off visibility. And I'm left with this. So that's a set of skirting around the entire room, even though we've got the other ones hidden, and we've got an entire set of walls around the room with those ones hidden. And I'm pretty happy right there.